Okay, now we're entering the default user account, which is the agent broker account. One thing needs to be said here for other user accounts. This shouldn't say profile settings, it should say account settings. So under personal information, one will add their personal information, their work email. So it should be work email and work number, cell phone, and this should be the work address. Now, the way it's set up, you're only getting the city, the state, the town, and the zip. Um, really, how it works is you get the town, you get the city, you get the state, you get the zip, and the address, the actual address of where they're located, which we will need the actual address. I'll point out later how that plays into the agent search. So we want to have that, and they need to be able to provide their work information here. Right now, it doesn't specify that it's work, and it doesn't give you much. Um, this field works correctly from what I've seen, so we're good with that. Going into broker information, this user account's the only one that has broker information. For sale by homeowner, and the corporate accounts does not have that. Um, what needs to be fixed here is just the verified button. The button is not in uniform to our other buttons, which that look like this. And there's a whole folder on what our buttons look like. So you'll have that, but they're all oval. We don't have square buttons. So the button needs to be fixed, and it's only green after the license has been verified. If it's not verified, it's not green. Team. Teams are set up, you can choose yes or no, but there's one thing missing: leave. Um, it's fine that you can set up a team, it's fine that you can get accepted to a team, but there's no option right now to leave a team. So if I'm a member of a team, I need to be able to leave the team. Now, if I'm setting up the team, uh, buttons need to be fixed. The information that must be added is obviously the first name, last name, license number for the agent you're adding, which that's fine. All this is fine, but should be able to add up to 12 and then submit all 12 or the entire team at once. Currently, email is not working because of what I mentioned earlier. AWS SES email is not been brought to production, so this is not working. Now, what I don't know if it's working, so when the agent receives the email, they can have a choice to accept or decline the invite to the team. If they accept the invite, then they're brought to the site, create an account if they don't have one, and then either they're asked again or they are now part of the team. I don't know how it works logistically. You guys would know better than me, but the email is the invite to join the team. If they already have an account, they don't need to set up a password or anything. It just invites them to the platform to then join that team. Now, the tricky thing is they're not going to see all of this. They're just going to see that this team is seeking to invite them. Then there should be an option where if they want to leave, leave the team, and then press submit. So now they're knocked out, and they can only be invited to the team if the team leader invites them again. Now, if I leave a team, what should happen is the team leader should see that name come off their list, because if someone accidentally leaves, how are we going to invite them if they're already on the list? So I leave a team, I come off your list. I accept the invite. It goes from pending to active, and it makes it very simple. Social media. Social media right now, these are all static. So I have to plug in my TikTok URL, LinkedIn, and so forth. It should be that I just add my social media link and then the icon appears. And the reason for that, social media changes, and everyone has different social media, but you can have a maximum of 6. That's what's important. They can have a maximum of 6, but it should be of their discretion. It shouldn't be static uh, icons for links. Neighborhood specialist. Okay, a couple things need to be fixed here. One, the scroll should be going top down. Right now it goes left to right. That's not good. The other thing is the cities. Um, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's great, but these are static. It can't be static. This should also reflect the 7 cities around the user so that they can set up this, up to a total of 6 towns total within 7 cities. They may choose 6 within just New York, or whatever, but they're allowed to add a total of 6 cities that they're the neighborhood specialist. How they are verified is something else. So to get approval, they must upload 3, what's called 3 closing transactions. They're called closing transaction report. They must upload 3 closing transaction reports per town. Why I mention that to you? Because we want the system in the super admin to automatically identify and then approve. But if it can't, or if it's not, then we have the default that should exist, which is to manually verify one, some, or all at the same time. So I can be reviewing one prospect, a few prospects, or all of them, and then approve them. So once I select a city, excuse me, a town, sorry, a town, when I go to the next town over, if I come back, the selected towns should appear at the top, one right after the other. So it helps me to know later on if I want to change the towns, I'll know which of the 7 cities I have selections because they'll supersede the whole list and go to the top. Now this should go from A to Z, but not across, but up and down. This and this needs to be fixed. This needs to be that oval. But also this and this can be brought much further down to allow for more uh, property addresses to be displayed. I think that's it for that. 30-minute showing. There needs to be the button needs to be corrected to the oval. There needs to be an active button in front and then a deactivate. Uh, deactivate is if I go on vacation. So I want to deactivate my 30-minute showings that I have set up for my different dates, and then I can reactivate, and it reactivates all my pre-selects. When I come in here, let's do this one. Yeah, this is a little glitchy. It needs to be worked out. The other thing is I can type in my time, but if I do the scroll down, um, well, I can't modify it. Okay, that's okay. I gotta modify here instead of there. Yeah, this has to be more intuitive, user-friendly. But I notice sometimes when I'm trying to find 0, yeah, that's a good, yeah, it gets glitchy around the whole hour. It's very difficult to get that whole hour. And there you go with that. So fix the whole hour, um, adding or removing, fix that because it's a little glitchy. Add the activate and deactivate. These listings control when listing users want to add 30-minute showing onto the dashboard for a specific listing, which we'll get into later. Password and security, what needs to be fixed here. If they want to create okay, one, there should be a radio button, but if they want to create a admin password, it should have the same options for a regular password, but they don't exist. Currently, you can only add one, but if you forget it, that's it, you're screwed. Now, this should be um, verified by another email or a phone number, because we want to keep the back, which is bill and plan and account settings, which you're in now, separate from the secretary or someone that's working in the office on your account, um, that you've assigned. So we don't want to go into the back. So we need a way to recover from password, which doesn't exist, and we need a way to maybe we have this set up to go to a different email or phone number, but it can't be something the secretary or the help has access to. StatWatch. The only issue I found so far is the daily. It's supposed to show um, how many listings based upon the different towns that was posted for that day. So you can verify if your secretary is doing work, and it should basically just show you, okay, like maybe it's 5 in Flushing, 10 in New York City, Elmhurst, specific towns. Then at the end of the day, that's added to one of these weeks, and there's 3 weeks that will show. The detailed town information is not provided, just the numbers, week 1, 2, and 3. And then monthly, it's, well, week 4 here, that becomes week 1 here, becomes month 1 here, and then month 2, month 3, and so on. Custom range is just that. I can custom, select a date. That should be selected date. Yeah, there we go. You have a calendar where you can select. And then you add that in, and then you can see how many properties were promoted, worked on, posted, excuse me, during that custom range. The same thing as the daily, weekly, monthly. This is our default web page. We need 2 more, like templates. And what we have here is right now and it's the same thing for the personal information page. When I try to add the picture for here and for the background, it won't load. There's something up with React that's having an issue. But there should be 2 other options with the same default services. About team shows you how many team members, current listings you have active, closed listings, what they have sold or leased. And then you can change the picture back here, obviously add the picture here, and then now there's 2 others options as well. And then we should change this to my private website. Another page that's supposed to be displayed here is IDX syndication. IDX syndication is where all the agent, because this is only an agent feature, is supposed to take the API, which he's going to be provided from his MLS, and then he's supposed to just add it to the RESTful API on that page. And then after the data, I don't know if it needs to push or what have you, but put in the parameters. And the parameters can be property type, price range, um, city and well, basically, city, town, um, and total amount of listings. So they can select various filters to have specific properties that will be pushed to their private web page. If they have listings on their own MLS, that is automatically pushed, no matter what, to their private web page and then pushed to the main website. anything that's not their exclusive listing that they're looking to just have syndicated from the IDX to their private webpage will only stay on their private webpage. Reason, you have more than one person wanting to promote the same town, same prices, same city, same everything. You can't let those listings filter to the main website or you'll have duplicates. And we can't have duplicates. So the properties that filter to the main website from when someone adds their IDX are listings that are exclusive to a specific individual. If there somehow becomes a duplicate, you know, maybe there's multiple MLSs the person belongs to, this system should check against that duplicate so it does not allow for it. So if John Doe is listed on MLS 1 and MLS 2, and he has the same properties on MLS 1 and 2, but he decides to add uh, the IP for his MLS into this RESTful API, well, only the listing, only one set of listing, only the listing will only appear once, I should say, not twice for the same guy. Any further questions, we can obviously visit this. Now let's get to plan and change. So I've provided you change plan. Okay, so the pricing page, uh, currently it's like that, but this is what the mock-up looks like. Okay, so and we have this, which you'll have access to, and all of this here is added from the back end, the super admin. The price is added from the super admin as well. For the corporate account, sorry, same thing. So this is the default layout, and the information is provided here since it's one plan and it's based upon seats. How many seats it will cost. So then for the for sale by homeowner, we have this layout, and again, the information gets laid out in the middle. Um, but all this information here that's added is from the super admin, and the same thing with the price. But I wanted you to see what the price page will look like for the different accounts. Because currently we have this. This should say not change plan, but pricing plan. And after you've selected one, it should then take you to this page. This page is where you should be able to add your current credit card, your information. This should be an oval, again, oval, oval, oval. It should be more, rounded like that, not squared, no squares, okay? Um, please check out that suspended and delete plan works. The information's there. I just don't know if they work. Now, we're not connected to my merchant account, so I'll have to provide that to you so that can be connected and taken care of. But depending upon the plan, now residential and commercial is called combo. That's the name change. It's not. So you have your residential, you got your combo, and you got your commercial plan. Um, so that's how that works. Payment method, add the card. We have this test to see if that works. Payment history should then create an invoice with a PDF they can download. Um, and if it's in a frame like this, that's fine, but this little glitchiness is not good, and you can't download it right now. So that concludes the account settings and the um, plan and billing. So just so that we're clear, plan and bill the plan and billing section. This is the same for all user accounts. The flow, I should say, the flow. Um, it comes to this is going to be corporate information, and it's just the corporate information, and you're going to ask how many seats that you want, which will then take you to this page, which will be called Um, it has a different name to it. Hold on one second. Right. So this is called permissions page. Here, you'll add the name of the person, the company email, and then you're going to add the permissions, whether they are a supervisor or staff, whether they have access to Boost Marketing, whether they have access to salesperson page. So, well, salesperson page is only accessible to whoever the supervisor is. But as I mentioned earlier, where addresses are important, so if when you're adding this person's information in the corporate information, there needs to be option to add multiple office locations rather than one, because they may have an office in multiple locations in the same city. And that, for a corporate account, they must be able to do that. And then designate one supervisor per location. And there's a point for that. So staff could be, um, you know, anyone, but staff does not have to be identified to a location, but supervisors have to be identified to a location, because supervisors automatically have the permission to add salespersons to their relationships. No one else does, just supervisors. The the other option, supervisors have, it's either on or off to Boost Marketing. And that's the same thing with staff. It could be on or off. Since Boost Marketing is an additional cost per use, we don't want them to default have it on and then use it and the company's like, oh my gosh, what the heck's going on? Company has a right to turn on or off Boost Marketing access for all their staff members. So they may not have it on for any of them. Just leave it off. That's fine. All right. Social media doesn't exist for corporate accounts. Um, let's take one more step back. So for sale by homeowner accounts, yes, they put their personal information. They do not have a broker information. They do not have a team. They will have social media. They do not have neighborhood specialists. Only agent accounts do. All user accounts have 30-minute showing. Password, that, stat watch, they all have that. And they all have password. Only agent has my private website and syndication IDX. So the other accounts, corporate or personal information, permissions for the corporate, for sale does not have that. Everyone, corporate does not have social media, only for sale by homeowner and agent. Only agent has access. All users account have access to this, to this. This is only for corporate, excuse me, all the accounts have this, but for corporate accounts, only the parent account, meaning all those sub users, they don't have any access to this backend at all. It doesn't. It's not even a part of uh, their sub accounts. This is only seen by the corporate account, and the extra feature is you'll have the full name of each one of the employees. So this whole thing is going to be moved over a little bit. You'll have the full name, so they'll be able to see each individual person and the work that they're doing daily, weekly, monthly, custom range, and see how much are they actually promoting. The only setting access a staff or supervisor will have is to add their picture, recover their password, password information for their account. But that's, other than that, that's it. They have no more, they don't have any other, oh, and then social media. No, they don't have access to that because that's only supervisor will have access to social media and the owner, meaning um, the supervisor can add the company's social media or the owner can add that. Otherwise, um, it's not available, or we make it a permission so that can be turned on or off. You know what? I'm gonna say that now. On permissions page, social media will be one of the options that will be turned on or off for all the sub accounts. Just make it simple because different companies may have different policies. All right, that concludes our account and billing issues that need to be fixed.